How do can you find a way to get Deion Kane more involved?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dion was involved. He probably had more catches last week, 7 catches than he's had this year. I think the big thing that we all want to see is those deep ball down the field shots. And I think the reason that you're seeing a lot of the soft coverage is because of Dion and what he's shown on video and Ray. I mean, you think early in the year those guys had some nice deep balls down the field in some of the early games. And so, teams have chosen not to give us those balls and make us just have to stay patient and take the easy 6 and 7 yards, and those are the ones that we're getting. But there's certain times that we want to be able to find those deep shots and have a chance to throw the ball down the field, and that's what we'll continue to work on.
Do you guys try not to second guess yourself, even as like a play caller, because there's certain things that didn't work, and just try to treat it as its own game, one game, and not try to change things too much from what you guys do well?
I mean, I think after every game, a win or a loss, we spend a lot of time as a staff looking back at it and seeing what we could have done differently. You kind of have a plan going in, and then you have things that go on during the game and adjustments you make, and then after a game you come back in and watch the video and really talk open discussion with the whole offensive staff and with Coach Sweeney and everybody, and really kind of figure out where you are. So this week was no different than that. It just, it hurts a little bit more after a loss because you see things that maybe you could have done that could have made a difference. So, we definitely go back and critique ourselves and see areas that we can improve. But I think the overall confidence of what we've done, I don't think you lose that, and it's the same message for our players.
What areas can you improve on, Jeff? Where are some of the self-scouting that you've done that you say you got to do this better?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we're kind of in the middle of that. You spent all day yesterday really just studying the Syracuse game, and really today through Thursday really doing a good 7-game self-scout. But obviously, certain third down situations, some of the third and shorts, we haven't got the success. Kind of hit the bar that we want to hit there, and then obviously some of the third and long, and then just finding ways to push the ball down the field regardless of what people are trying to do to us. Try to be creative and find some shot opportunities.
I know this is a new team, but Dabo says it all the time, experience is your greatest teacher. Does it help that you've gone through this a year ago and then you went on to accomplish big things, and now you're in a similar situation yet again?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you never want to experience this, but really any great team or season or great moment, there's always some adversity at some point during that process. And for us, we want this to be the one time that it happens, that we learn from it, that we can look back and push ourselves forward like last year's team did after Pitt. But if we don't learn from those mistakes, then we got some other good teams on our schedule. So that's the message that we as the coaches are really trying to challenge these guys is, the message is not going to be that we lost a game. It's going to be, how do you respond? We know how last year's team responded. How is the 2017 team going to respond? And that's a big part of what we're going to be really focusing on here these next 2 weeks, getting ready for Georgia Tech.
How much time do you spend on Georgia Tech this week, and just how much fine-tuning?
Yeah, it's a combination. We definitely, we're going to spend a couple of days looking at ourselves, but at the same time, we're getting a head start on Georgia Tech. We definitely want to use this extra time that we have as an advantage. And I believe they've played 5 games, and they're 2 plays away from being 5-0. 1 play in the Tennessee game, and then 1 play last week against Miami, and they're 5-0 and having one of the best years that they've had. So, I've already got a quick peek on them, and got a lot of talented returning guys in the secondary, guys' names that I've seen for the last 3 and 4 years, and seem like they're playing pretty well over there. So it'll be a combination of studying ourselves and getting a head start on Georgia Tech.
You guys have a community service event today. How important are those kinds of things, especially on a bye week?
Yeah, I think that's critical. A big part of our program here at Clemson. Coach Sweeney, he really challenges our players to see themselves as more than just a football player, and also to use this platform, and especially just the way that it kind of happened in our open week. After a loss, the world doesn't stop moving just because you may be disappointed or whatever. Life goes on, and I think this is a good opportunity for our guys to get a little bit of perspective for how fortunate they are, and also have an opportunity to give back. And love seeing guys that when they leave Clemson, obviously all the the positive things that Deshaun's done at the NFL at the next level, seeing that continue. And hopefully that's the type of culture that we're fostering here at Clemson.
When Deion's not on the stat sheet, like maybe you thought you might be, what do you guys say to him so he doesn't get in his own head?
Yeah, you know, and really it's not just him. You know, I've got a room full of 9 wideouts that are very talented guys. You know, 3 of those guys didn't get to play 1 snap on Friday night. So really the biggest message to all those guys is just to keep playing, keep practicing. You know, your time's going to come. There's going to be those opportunities. It's a long season, and you know, you don't have to worry about one game or one moment kind of defining your season. Just being consistent and being better this week than we were last week as an individual and as a position group, as an offense and as a team. So that's really been the biggest message. But you know, I've been pleased with the attitude and the way those guys have come to work. You know, yesterday we had a really good practice despite coming off you know, a disappointing weekend. So I expect that to continue.
You guys feel like you can soften up some of these defenses with Travis and Feaster with the way they're running the ball and explosiveness?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of positive signs in there too. Obviously, when you lose, you don't go over there and try to collect how many positive plays you had. You really spend a lot of time looking at the things that went wrong. But you know, Travis and Feaster both, I think they're getting better and better each week, running the ball and you know, finding opportunities for those guys to get out in open space. You know, can be obviously been explosive plays for us as well. So I think they're only going to get better as the year goes, and we kind of get some plans to get those guys the balls a little bit more too.
Dabo likes to say that the only team that can beat Clemson is Clemson. Was that the case Friday night, or?
Well, I think first of all you got to give Syracuse credit. They've played a great game on all 3 sides of the ball: offense, defense, and special teams. So you got to give them credit. Their coaches did an outstanding job and had some good wrinkles for us. So I give them credit, number 1. Number 2, when I go back and watch the video, I definitely feel like if we don't have to do anything extraordinary, we just execute some basic things, then you know, we probably win the game. So I think that's kind of when we look back at it, that you know, that's the mindset that we like to have, is that hey, if we can control, you know, if we execute the things that we can control, then we should win the game. And we didn't do that Friday night, but at the same time, I don't want to discount Syracuse. They did a great job, and give them a lot of credit.